My message to President Donald Trump is please don't relent. Come quickly before they finish us. If you delay, you will not hear my voice anymore. Because these people, they are finished with my Facebook account. They block it the way they did to you. Come quickly. You are not going to save us alone as Christians. My fellow brothers, Muslims, I beg, save Nigeria. My message to President Donald Trump is please don't relent. Come quickly before they finish us. If you delay, you will not hear my voice anymore. Because these people, they are finished with my Facebook account. They block it the way they did to you. Come quickly. You are not going to save us alone as Christians. My fellow brothers, Muslims, I beg, save Nigeria.
At this point, I would like to present to you all the day-to-day activities of the Christendom in Nigeria, how the Christians go about literally every day, burying their loved ones and crying, lamenting, without no help from the government of Nigeria, without no help from the governor of their states, without no help from the world. This is happening in Nigeria, but no one is speaking about it. Instead, they want to speak about Palestine. But the death toll happening to the Christians in Nigeria is not even discussed in the League of Nations. So I want you to watch this. See the lamentation of the youths in Nigeria, the Christian youths, burying their dead over and over again. And also, I want you to listen to the response from the Islamic clerics, how they feel about the intention of America to come and stop these killings, Sharia and blasphemy law happening in Nigeria. We told you when you speak to the Nigerian government, they are just telling lies, they're just playing to the gallery, they want to buy time. The real people doing the act have spoken, and you will see them speak in this video. So if you're ready, I present to you a day-to-day activities of the burial of Christians happening all across Nigeria. If you're ready, let's go there. Watch this.
Not done anything to warrant this. And that is why anytime magana say the chewa munye wa magana. We had said the chewa there is genocide against the Christians and other non-Fulanis, and people will say no. And this is one of it. Tambayan da zan yi is that is government really ready to defend us, or we should rather be told that our government is helpless, security are helpless, and therefore everybody should go and acquire arms and defend himself. Let government come out and tell us that in our own land, Anna Keshemu will be killed. In our own land, the lands have been taken over and nobody is saying anything. In our own land, we cannot move freely. In our own land, we cannot farm and harvest it. Kai, Jama, we should Indama Wini be Seniba. Let it be known today. Let it be registered in your mind today that Fulani have already declared war against us. Let that one be registered. Fulani have declared war against us. And in Ajamu we cannot keep dying like this. We cannot in our own land. Zaka foreigners. Now Magana de Fulani last week. Even within this week. That's it. Bakune Kuka hire bandits. You brought terrorism into the state. Have you ever reported the Choa Akwe bad element and non fast? And these attackers came from fast. Because this is the only nearby Fulani settlement. Just all from fast. And I wonder what is the role of the security hideout that is established here in Queen. I wonder, is it a nation?
Now listen to the response of the 40 different Islamic groups that assembled in Nigeria to give a response to President Donald Trump. When we tell you to ignore what the Nigerian government is saying, they're just playing to the gallery. The president can do nothing to what is happening in Nigeria. I want you to hear the Sharia Islamic clerics, the Muslim clerics, warning the Nigerian president never to think about stopping Sharia in Nigeria, and also the blasphemy law. They reminded him that it was the Sharia Muslims, the Sharia loving Muslims, that put him into power. He knows that. He ain't stupid. All they want to do is delay Donald Trump for 100 days because they know after 100 days, the event might change. So please listen to the Muslim clerics from 40 different organizations in Nigeria speaking and responding to Trump and to the president of Nigeria. Listen.
With the benefit of hindsight, this does not come as a surprise. Past American governments had once announced that Nigeria would break by 2015. When that did not happen after 10 years, they are now taking deliberate steps to make it happen. It seems like the plot they are working on is to instigate a religious crisis in the country by provoking the Muslim population. Recently, the US President Donald Trump made an accusation that there was a Christian genocide going on in Nigeria, even confirming that churches were being burned and Christians killed virtually every day. He then started rolling out conditions to be met by the Nigerian government and sanctions to be considered on government, individuals, and groups. He went on to list Nigeria yet again as a country of special concern. Among the conditions he rolled out was that the Sharia system was to be abolished in the northern states and blasphemy laws be scrapped. Then, last week, a group of Nigerians living in the US, led by one Dr. Ebenezer Obadere, senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, visited the US Congress masquerading as so-called experts on Nigerian affairs to request the Congress to make the US government demand that the Nigerian government put pressure on the northern states to abolish the Sharia system and the Hizbah. At this juncture, we would like to make the following observations. One, even the British colonialists who conquered our land by force of arms could not altogether get rid of the Sharia system. Therefore, no foreign power can do it now, after more than 60 years of independence. Two, the Sharia system is an integral part of our constitution, which, in recognition of everybody's right to religious freedom, provided for three legal systems, namely the British common law, the Sharia personal law, and the customary law. Three, moreover, the constitution allowed for concurrent powers that gives states the power to make laws affecting any of the concurrent list, of which enacting Sharia law is a part of. Four, unless the constitution of our country and its democratic federalism is going to be trampled on, the plot to force the federal government to pressure state governments to abolish the Sharia system and Hizbah is not wise. 5. The Sharia system has never been imposed on any non-Muslims in Nigeria. 6. The blasphemy law is not a religious law, but a law enacted by respective state assemblies in order to preserve peace and harmony. 7. The Sharia system has no connection whatsoever with the different types of insecurity issues happening in Nigeria. 8. The Hizbah institution has never engaged in any type of unrest. It is an unarmed organization concerned only with the enforcement of Sharia moral laws within the ambit of the national law. Therefore, on behalf of all the 40 Islamic organizations that form the Zamfara State Muslims League, we hereby state the following. 1. We in Zamfara State are more than 99% Muslims.
Wow.
We were the first to implement the Sharia system in 1999. We want all and sundry to know that we are comfortable with the system.
Wow.
And we will never allow it to be tampered with.
Wow.
2. The request of Dr. Obadere is not based on any expertise, but on biasness and Islamophobia.
Wow.
3. The U.S. has no business meddling in the international affairs of our country.
Wow.
Or act as a custodian of a certain religion.
Wow.
Or start a new crusade against Islam.
Wow.
With Nigeria as its first victim.
Wow.
4. We emphatically affirm that Muslims in Nigeria will not stand by and look while a foreign power dismantles the Sharia system just to make some anti-Islamic Christians happy.
Wow.
We know that America has been sponsoring Zionist terrorism in Palestine and the genocide of Muslims.
Wow.
We are ready. We are also ready to pay the price the Palestinians are paying.
Wow.
If America should decide to come to Nigeria to dismantle Sharia.
Wow.
5. We are calling on President Bola Tinubu to treat carefully.
Wow.
He should remember that he rose to power on the goodwill of Sharia-loving Muslim population of this country.
Hold it there. He should remember that he rode into power from the goodwill of the Sharia-loving Christians. Sorry, Lord have mercy. The Sharia-loving Muslims of Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should remember that he rode into power from the blessings of the Sharia-loving Muslims in Nigeria. To America, let that sink in. To the whole world, let that sink in. When we say the Nigerian government, they are toothless, they cannot do anything to change how things are. I hope now you understand. The Sharia-loving Muslims are saying, they are reminding the president that he rode into power on the backs of the Sharia-loving Muslims. Because all the 12 states that practice Sharia voted for the president. Now you understand why he's doing what he's doing. Now you understand why he's keeping a blind eyes when the Christians are being killed. But let's continue. Let's continue.
6.
Take it back. Listen.
He should remember that he rose to power on the goodwill of Sharia-loving Muslim population of this country.
Take it back again.
To treat carefully.
Listen.
He should remember that he rose to power on the goodwill of Sharia-loving Muslim population of this country.
One more time. 5.
We are calling on President Bola Tinubu to treat carefully. He should remember that he rose to power on the goodwill of Sharia-loving Muslim population of this country. 6. We also call on Muslim representatives in the Senate and the House of Representatives never to allow themselves to be used for the achievement of crooked objectives detrimental to the interests of those they represent. 7. We call on our governors and members of the respective houses of assemblies not to relent or give in on this matter. They must stand firm and ensure our freedoms in a sovereign Nigeria. We are also using this medium to appeal to our northern governors, especially the Sharia compliance states, to intensify efforts in protecting, safeguarding, and promoting the Sharia legal system in their respective states.
Wow.
8. It is time for our traditional rulers to stand up and talk. The labor of our leaders past shall never be in vain. 9. Our ulama and imams must stand up and talk. Imams must convey our message of resistance on all pulpits. Sharia implementation is our religious right, which we are entitled to. We will never accept intervention on how to practice our religion from any quarter. 10. Finally, we call on all Muslims in Nigeria to be ready to defend our religion and the Sharia system, whatever it takes.
Wow.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum is what they said at the end. They have declared war on America. They have declared war on the Christians in Nigeria by calling on all the Muslims in Nigeria to defend Sharia, no matter what it takes. Need I say more? Need I say more? Hence to America, we are telling you what is happening in Nigeria is complex. To Riley Moore, Congressman Riley Moore, I understand you went to visit Nigeria with your team, the fact-finding mission. But I want to assure you that what you saw was just the icing on the cake. The war has been going on for far too long. The war has been going on for far too long. It started in Biafra land. We have fought a good fight, but unfortunately, our local politicians have sabotaged us. That all our leaders are now in jail. No one else to rescue the Biafrans, because our own case is a bit different. Because everyone in Nigeria love to see us down, because they assume, like the theory, the story of the bully in the classroom, they assume when the bully picks on someone and everyone laughs with the bully, they are in support with the bully, bullying just one person. They are doing so with the assumption that the bully will set them free, but only pick on one person. So in that analogy, we the Biafrans, we are like the victim of the bully. We've been killed, we've been destroyed, we've been decimated. All our leaders kidnapped and captured and killed. Our freedom fighters have been killed by the Nigerian government because they had the temerity to defend our land from the encroaching Fulani militia, the Islamic militia. While they were killing us, the other tribes were happy. They were laughing, they were calling us terrorists. They came with the slogan that we, the Biafrans, are the ones killing ourselves. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, God, I can't believe this. The other tribe said, we, the Biafrans, are the ones killing ourselves. We are responsible for the mayhem happening in our land. But today, unfortunately, but to call a spade, the chicken has come home to roost. Unfortunately. Those who were laughing at us, those who turned a blind eye when the Fulani Islamic jihadists and their government, their Islamic government, were killing the children of God in Biafra land. Those who thought when they go into partnership with these guys, that way their land will be spared, their people will be spared, and the only whipping boy in the class will be the Igbos, the Biafrans. Today the chicken has come home to roost. As sad as it may sound. But as the saying goes, I told you so. Had I known, comes at last. Because they saw this happen all the way. What is happening in Benue today, they saw it happen to the Biafrans way back. But they chose to be cowards. They chose to play to the gallery. They chose to align themselves with the Islamic Caliphate with the hope that they will be spared and that we, the Biafrans, will be the whipping boys of Nigeria. They never knew that the plan of the Islamic Caliphate was to turn Nigeria into an Islamic country. All they did was to take on the strongest link, which is us, the Biafrans. Because they know if they can use the might of the Nigerian government to decimate us, then the other states will be like a walk in the park. Hence, you see what is happening in Benue State, in Plateau, in the Yoruba lands. They have no defense. They can stroll in and stroll out, kidnap, kill, decimate, chase them off their lands. IDP camps all across the Middle Belt. Because they assumed they were doing politics. They assumed they could align themselves with the bully, and that way they will be spared. They saw the Biafrans cry day in and day out. They saw us being marginalized by the system because we refuse to conform to Islam. I repeat, in Biafra land, 99.9% of us are Christians, Jews, traditional worshippers. We don't believe in Islam in Biafra land. We don't believe in Allah in Biafra land. We are children of God. We believe in Jesus as being the Son of God. We believe that God so loved the world, he sent his only Son, his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, that whomsoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. We believe in Mary being the mother of God. That shows you we are also Catholics. That's why most of our sisters, our daughters, our women, their names is either Mary or Maria. We believe in Mary being the mother of God. We don't believe in Islam. Islam is strange to us. It is alien to us. That is why they hate us with a passion. That's why the Nigerian government and their Islamic Sharia system, they hate us, the Biafrans, with a passion. They've seen us as a stumbling block. We are the ones slowing them down to Islamize Nigeria. I dare you to do a research. Send your team into Biafra land and you will see what you see will dazzle you. What has been hidden from the whole world. Since the Biafran war, the war has not ended. It's been going on. The Islamization of Nigeria has been going on through a process known as Islamification of Nigeria. It's been going on in Biafra land. But sadly, the other tribes, they were so scared to speak out. The media were so scared to speak out because they knew when they speak, when they shine a light on what is happening, then their license will be revoked. They will be suspended. They know these things, but instead, we've told them, why don't you be a whistleblower? Go in the back doors and let the world know what is happening. But they refuse to do that because it's the Biafrans and they believe in tribalism. Hence, we are calling our America God's own country. We being fair. We the Biafrans, we are always fair. We are saying, hurry to the aid of the Christians. If there is peace in the land for the Christians, then at the same time, we shall also enjoy an element of peace in Biafra land. So please, America God's own country, hurry to the aid of the Christians. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. No more talk. My people, how on a day today? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media. My people, I say it's a time for us to call for prayer. Because sometimes when I tell you that the devil we are dealing with is as strong as God, you guys will not understand. The devil controlling Nigeria is as strong as God. You guys will not understand where I'm coming from. In your Bible, it told you there was war in heaven. God had to go to war with the devil while up in heaven. So while we are here on earth, expect the worst from the devil. We must pray. Because there was a prayer made by a so-called man of God, Pastor Adegboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, where he said the Tinubu government should find a way to delay Donald Trump for 100 days. When I heard that prayer made, or the request made by that man, I was in tears. I came in the public. I cried like a baby. I shouted. I was busting my lungs, begging America not to fall for the okie-doke, not to fall for the 419, not to fall for the cajole of Nigeria. But unfortunately, America, it seems they are trying to judge Nigeria based on their own perception to life. There is a reason why 419 do take place. These boys, they call the Yahoo boys. There is a reason why it is effective. Because those who they are doing the Yahoo to, those in the Western world, they are doing the Yahoo to, the 419 to the fraud with or against. When they see those letters, when they see those formatted documents coming with the proposal, they are looking at those proposals based on the perspective of how they operate in the Western world. It means based on the modus operandus, oh my God, of how they operate in the Western world. That way they are judging what they are reading from this so-called businessman, this so-called king, this so-called prince whose father has a gold mine, and the rest of them. They are reading what they are reading based from the perspective of the Western world standard, where integrity, honesty, accountability, and transparency is something they hold at a very high level. So when they read those fraudulent letters, they fall for it because they assume they are dealing with a fellow westernized person, not knowing they are dealing with a criminal from Nigeria, a fraudster from Nigeria. So today I want to call out on Congressman Riley Moore. I'll be doing a series of videos of this one because what I'm seeing happening, I am troubled because I cannot believe America of all countries will fall for this fraudulent act of Nigeria. I can't believe it. I was assuming, well, I'm still praying they are above board. They understand the way Nigerians operate. They understand how the government of Nigeria operates. That they are filled with lie. They don't have no integrity. And everything they say must be taken with a pinch of salt. I am hoping that's the case. But today, I want to discuss the U.S. delegates coming to Nigeria. What you are seeing here is them meeting with the governor of Benue State. A man who claimed to be a priest, but suddenly now he has done a taboo in the house of God. So they met him, and at the end of the meeting, he said there is no genocide in Benue. He assured American delegates that there is no genocide in Benue. What you are seeing here is during, the discussions and while they were taking pictures before they went into that closed door meeting. From what we are hearing, American delegates met with all the pastors, the preachers, reverend fathers in Nigeria or in Benue, and also they met with the governor, who is also a reverend father. And he told them categorically that there is no genocide of Christians happening in Benue. Hence, I'm saying let the real Christians pray. Because I would have loved them to speak to the real critical stakeholders, those who are in the IDP camp, those who could not go back to their villages. I would have preferred Americans to go there and have a first-hand account randomly, not the ones being presented to them, but randomly. Go into those camps and see for yourself what is happening in Benue State. So what you are seeing here is the old team. They were having a discussion with the American delegates. One of them was Riley Moore, and what you are seeing here is them leaving the government house of Benue State. Also, they also found themselves, or they went to Abuja as well, where they discussed with the National Security Advisor, Nuru Ribado, on this same issue of Christian genocide in Nigeria. Let's go there. So what you are seeing here again is the American delegation, Riley Moore meeting, Nuru Ribado, and the rest of them having a discussion, exchanging pleasantries. And at the end of this meeting, I was worried when I saw the tweet that was sent out by our very good brother in the Lord, Congressman Riley Moore. So they came to Nigeria, they went to Abuja, and they also went to Benue to discuss with the government of Nigeria for a fact-finding mission. I want to believe America has done the investigation before this so-called fact-finding mission. I want to believe they have the data, the information, the intel. Very important that they have the intel, the intelligence of what is really happening in Nigeria when it comes to Christian genocide. I want to believe that they have not fallen short of the gimmicks by the Nigerian government that we warn them about, that be careful when you deal with the Nigerian government. They cannot be trusted. They will come with a satire to claim as if they are showing, in fact, they will be acting more bereaved than the victims themselves. They come with that 419 approach. Suddenly, on the day the Americans came to Aso Rock in Abuja, they got the breaking news that, 100 of those Catholic children have been released. And I am sad that our brother Riley Moore wrote on his tweet page thanking Nigerian government. The question should have been, what do you mean by they have been released? Is there any money paid? Is there any deal being done with these terrorists? How come 50 escaped or were released previously and now 100 escaped? How did you do it? Was money being exchanged? Is it something where the previous one you paid 2 billion? Now these 100 of them you have paid 4 billion. The remaining 150 you have to raise 6 billion or something. What is going on here? If you are saying you didn't pay no money, it means there was a gun battle, yourself and the terrorists. So what is the body count? If there was a gun battle, what is the body count? How many terrorists were unalived and how many Nigerian military forces were unalived? And also, what is the outcome? What's the consequence? If there were 250 and you exchanged, there was a gun battle, you were able to, retrieve 100 people as you claim. So what do you think the terrorists will do to the remaining 150? In anger. Because it makes no sense. Any so-called rescue mission where you are going in there and you are saying, from 300 we have rescued 50. After 9 days you come back and from 250 we have rescued 100. Oh my God. Save that kind of nonsense for the gods. So I want to believe America has not fallen for this, because it will be so sad that America that we had our hope on, the hope of the Christians, has also fallen short to the gimmicks of the Nigerian government. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad. At this point, I would like us to please listen to our brother, a man who has been one of the pioneers of what is happening, making sure that America has a first-hand information of what is going on in the Christian genocide in Nigeria. Our brother Stephen Osemwege, who is I believe the president of Save Nigerian Group USA. Let us hear what he's got to say. Let us see how he feels about what is happening. This latest development of America going to Nigeria on a fact-finding mission, and what we are hearing from the Nigerian officials, and also how our brother here is taking it. Let's go there. Listen.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings, Nigerians. Greetings, Americans. Greetings, lovers of peace worldwide. My name is Stephen Osemwege. I am a Nigerian citizen living in the United States. I am the president of Save Nigeria Group USA, and over the last couple of days, we've been engaged in advocacy work, having a rally on Monday, December 1st, braving the cold winter and speaking up for many Nigerians who are facing genocide. The issue has been a long time coming. It did not start this year, although early this year we had one of the main massacres called the Yale-Wata massacre in Benue State, but many of these killings have continued. And as we speak today, St. Mary's Catholic School in Niger State, which was invaded about 2 weeks ago with the kidnapping of over 300 students, those students are still not free. These are children from 6-year-olds upwards up to 17. many of them girls and young children. Staffers have also been adopted. This crisis is festering because the Nigerian government is complicit, has failed to do its job, the primary duty, which is to protect life and property. Vast ungoverned spaces all over the country, and the consistent denial. Right now, as I speak to you, the United States delegation is in Benue State, and I just saw a video posted by the governor of Benue State, what I call former Reverend Father Alia.
Listen.
I call him a reprobate because he cannot be a Christian. He has left the faith, he has denied the truth for political convenience. I warned people during the 2022 election that you should not vote anyone in APC in Nigeria. Simply because that party, over the last 8 years during Muhammadu Buhari, oversaw the killing of so many, insecurity, and so many, the level of bad leadership, they didn't deserve to be re-elected, no matter what platform, what level in Nigeria. People came to my platform I was hosting on X at the time and telling me, oh, he's a Reverend Father. And I warned them. Today, Governor Alia, former Reverend Father, now a reprobate, a member of the court, the APC in Nigeria, he publicly denying the genocide. Benue State is at the heart of the crisis. Benue and Plateau State and Southern Kaduna have more killings than most areas if you check the numbers. They have IDPs numbering in millions. The governor decides to play to the gallery. I am not hopeful that he's going to tell the truth as United States congressional leaders engage him today. He came out to say there is no genocide in Benue. The same Benue that there is Yalowata. In a single day in Yalowata, almost 300 people were killed, burnt, pregnant women butchered. And this man opens his mouth to say there is no genocide because he wants to protect Tinubu. He said he will go back to being a Reverend Father. No, we'll write a petition to the Vatican. You can't have that person in any altar. He has sold his soul to the devil and he denies the truth.
Hold it there. Let's come back. He called the governor of Benue State a reprobate. I repeat, a reprobate. It means somebody who is unprincipled. At the beginning of this video, I asked myself, how can a man of God come in the public and say there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria? I'm still in shock that it is now the men of God defending Islam in Nigeria. It makes me to wonder, when you keep on saying pray, you tell your church members to pray to God. When they pray in the morning, pray in the day, pray in the night, and when it's time for the answers to come true, the same men of God are the ones blocking the answers. America has come to save the Christians in Nigeria. And this man, all because of politics, the governor of Benue State chose politics over the salvation of the people. He chose politics over God's grace. He chose politics over those being killed in the name of Islam. He chose politics over the genocide of Christians all across Nigeria. He is indeed a reprobate. He is somebody who is unprincipled. He is somebody who lacks manners. He is somebody who is not of high repute. For him to do that because of politics, he came with the concept of being a reverend father, vying for position. As they say, oil and water cannot mix. But some of you allow them to trick you, saying, yes, a priest is coming to become your governor. A priest should be somebody that God has assigned with a work. Him going into priesthood is because he has an assignment to carry out the work of God. Not in politics. Politics and the Christendom does not mix. But in Nigeria, elephants can fly. In Nigeria, elephants can fly. At this point, my people, I am worried. I am very, very worried. We are now at the X page of our brother, a man we love, a man we appreciate, Congressman Riley Moore. We pray that God will guide him throughout and reveal to him the truth of what is happening in Nigeria. So what you are seeing here is more like a brief information on how things are going in the visit of Nigeria. In the picture, you'll see him with the one they call Ribadu, Nuru Ribadu, who is, I believe, the head of the NSA, the Nigerian Security Agency, or whatever they call it. A man who came with a policy known as the cheese policy. With the cheese policy, it means a 100% non-kinetic approach will be used to deal with the terrorists in Nigeria. And I call it the feeding, the funding, and the payment approach, FFP, where every month they fund them, every day they feed them, and every month they pay them money. Every day they feed them. When you see the helicopters going around, flying and dropping down bags of foods, it is part of the policy of the Nigerian government. Do not be confused. Don't wonder how come these guys are getting supplies in boxes. It is part of the policy that Nigeria has, known as a non-kinetic approach. The cheese policy that was introduced by Nuru Ribadu, the leader or the head of the NSA. Feeding, funding, and payment. Feeding. So in Nigeria now there is a benefit system where they feed people. They feed the terrorists in the bushes. Funding, they do fund them to carry on with their jihad or any movement that they are dealing with. Payment, they have promised them that every month they'll be getting their benefit payment, a way to cajole the terrorists for them to turn away from the initial agreement of saying they will make Nigeria an Islamic country where the terrorists can happily dwell with their family. The initial plan was that Nigeria was the promised land for the Muslim Caliphate to create their own Islamic Caliphate as promised, envisioned by the man they call Usman Dan Fodio. This was the initial reason why these terrorists they came all the way from the Sahel and they converged in Nigeria. But after the 2015 election, when the then President Goodluck Jonathan cowardly called it off and said he has lost, it created a problem in the camp of the APC because their initial plan A was to come with force and take over power. Where they promised the shed of monkey blood, chimpanzee, and baboon littered all across the streets of Nigeria. So when that happened, it now means the plan B was to find a way to pay off these terrorists who they brought into Nigeria. But unfortunately, those terrorists said no. Our agreement is that we're going to have Nigeria as an Islamic country. So that is something we want to fight towards. The APC being in power, they felt they could use the wealth of Nigeria to pay off these terrorists. Hence, they came with that approach. Do not attack them. Do not kill them. They are the freedom fighters. They are their warriors and the rest of them. That's why they have that sentiment. Because to call a spade, with the way things are going, I will not blame the terrorists doing what they are doing because the APC government had an agreement with those people, with the Islamic jihadists you are seeing in Nigeria. So sometimes you must live up to the fulfillment of those agreements. They mortgaged Nigeria from being a secular country to an Islamic country. That was the deal on the table. Hence, those terrorists, they came all across the Sahel into Nigeria. And now they are trying to walk away from that contract, that agreement, and thinking money could solve the problem. But till this day, those terrorists will tell you money is not the issue. And even when they go into kidnapping, they will always say, go and speak to your politicians in government. They know why we are angry with them. Go and speak to them. They brought us here. They gave us the weapons. They gave us the weapons. We are angry with them because they are responsible for what we are doing. At this point, I want to pray that our brother, Congressman Riley Moore, will not fall for what Nigeria has in stock for them. The delegates, the US delegate that went to Nigeria, we are praying. We are praying to God that God will open your eyes, give you the vision, the rhema, for you to know you cannot believe what you saw in Nigeria. Because the Nigerian government, they are crafty. When it comes to criminality, when it comes to being corrupt, Nigeria was described as a fantastically corrupt country by the previous Prime Minister of Britain, Lord David Cameron. So please, I want to plead with Congressman Riley Moore and the whole team to please do not fall for the trap, for the games of the Nigerian government. They had 16 years to solve this problem. They did nothing until the tweet from our president, a good man, President Donald John Trump. And ever since, they've been cowering, pretending, finding a way to delay Trump in his actions for 100 days. That's the initial plan. That's the blueprint. Find a way to delay Donald Trump for 100 days. That way, they will now distract him from what is happening in Nigeria. So at this point, I want us to please read the tweet as written by our good brother, Congressman Riley Moore. He said, and I quote, I want to thank the National Security Advisor at Nuhu Ribadu for a productive and positive conversation with the U.S. Congress delegates to Nigeria. Let's open it up. It's very, very sad. There were concrete steps and actions discussed at length that, if fully executed, I believe will enhance security across the country for all Nigerians, disrupt and destroy the terrorist organizations in the Northeast, and stop the killing of the Christians. A specific concern of Atpotus, which is the President of the United States, and myself, particularly in the middle belt of the country. Particularly in the middle belt of the country. Let's continue. I want to thank the Nigerian government at official BAT, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for rescuing the 100 innocent and precious Catholic school children. Lord have mercy. I was worried when I saw this statement where our brother said, I want to thank the Nigerian government at official BAT for rescuing the 100 innocent and precious Catholic school children. Use the word rescuing. My question would be, how did they rescue them? Who went on the rescue mission? What was the outcome? What's the score when it comes to the casualties? How many terrorists were killed in the process of rescuing 100 people or children? To Riley Moore, I'm saying the answer is none. There was no rescue mission. They went to have a discussion and made some payments. They were dialoguing with the terrorists. They were having a deal with the terrorists. There was no rescue mission, with all due respect. That's why we are saying, when you take the words of the Nigerian government and weigh it based on the standard in America, then that's when you make a mistake. Because Nigeria cannot be trusted. We came from the womb of Nigeria, so we are telling you what we know. Nigeria is a crime scene. All the stakeholders in Nigeria, their hands are soiled with criminality. Nobody was rescued. They went to do a deal with those terrorists. Money was being exchanged for the life of the 100 children. And they have to go back to pay some more to release the remaining 150. There was no rescue mission, please, with all due respect. We ain't stupid. Nigerian government cannot fool us, because we know Nigeria, because we came out of the womb of Nigeria. Let's continue. Let's continue. I'll take it again. He said, I want to thank the Nigerian government and official Abat for rescuing 100 innocent and precious Catholic school children. This is a positive demonstration of the government's increasing response to the security situation and shows commitment to the emergency declaration laid out by President Tinubu. The U.S. sense of urgency on our concerns was positively received. I feel that a cooperative security framework is within sight. The now established joint task force between Nigeria and the U.S. is a great example. It's a great example. Let's continue. It is clear that there is an openness and willingness on the part of Nigerian government to work with the United States to tackle these critical issues. Now that the openness has been established or translated to concrete action. Openness, willingness, openness and willingness. Okay, let's continue. He continued, he said, and I quote, there is still much work to be done, but things are moving in the right direction. I look forward to the next steps with Nigerian government and the continued open dialogue. Peace be with you all. God bless the great people of Nigeria. And that was him with a handshake of Nuribado and his team of delegates. When I read this tweet, I was in tears because I never knew that America could also fall for the gimmicks from Nigeria, the Nigerian government. To Congressman Riley Moore, they had 16 years. They had 16 years to solve this problem. They did nothing about it. The previous governor of Benue State, Governor Otom, cried for 8 good years. He cried and begged in the public. A governor was crying live on TV, speaking about how they were killing his people and how the Islamic terrorists were coming to take over, and they even came for his own life. The then President Buhari warned him, telling him to find a way to make a peace deal with those terrorists that are killing his own people. For 8 good years, or 8 bloody years, Governor Otom was crying, a governor crying live on TV, to no avail. So when we say that Nigeria is playing games, what they are doing is nothing but fraudulent. Their intention is to come out with a way to cajole the American government to fall for the trap, with the assumption that the Nigerians are doing something. Oh Lord, my God, my heart's heavy. Let's go to some comments. Let's take some comments. After the tweet was written out, let's see what people are saying. Let us see what people are saying. This one comes from QTV. He says, We hope that this post will not be deleted later. Everybody should save this post for future reference. Believing Nigerian government is the worst mistake a reasonable person does. Nigerian government cannot be trusted. Beware. 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 Thank you, my brother. I appreciate those words. The next one is from the person called Deprogrammed. They stated, and I quote, "Listen to this video, sir. Nigerian government just want to deceive the US. They are complicit and cannot handle terrorism. APC is in collaboration with Islamic Fulani Caliphate, created just to remove President Goodluck Jonathan, a Christian, with the help of Obama, because he refused to do some few stuff, as I said." This video, to Congressman Riley Moore, please watch this video. It's in your tweet. And then you will see that everything that happened in your discussion with the Nigerian government was a lie. Please, I indulge you to take your time to watch this video from our good brother, known as, I believe his name is Adekunle. I believe that's his name. Permit me, I don't know his protocol. Maybe it's Mr. or General. I don't know. But please watch that video and you will have a perfect clarity of what is happening in Nigeria. Nigeria is a lie. I am crying, I'm in tears when I saw your response. Ellie said, let's read what she said. As EFCC chairman, Ribadu exposed Bola Ahmed Tinubu as extremely corrupt, and to silence Ribadu and many others who exposed Tinubu in the past. Tinubu gave them a position in government. That's it. They deceived you and have zero plans to curb insecurity because they benefit from a broken Nigeria. That is the gospel truth. Congressman Riley Moore, that is the gospel truth. Please go back to your tweet and read the comments. Go back to your tweet and read the comments. Please, we are begging of you. And that tweet says, or response says, "Don't trust at Nuru Ribadu, sir. He is one of those Islamic extremists. He is working to deceive you and the US government. The agenda is the complete Islamization of Nigeria. It is better you people divide another means to helping us than working with the Nigerian government. It is better you guys come with a different means to help the Christians of Nigeria than working with the Nigerian government." The picture you are seeing here is the Kaaba being given to Tinubu in Saudi Arabia. Once the Kaaba is given to you, it's a sign that your country is officially an Islamic country. Let's continue. Let's continue. Abiodun Borishade said, "I came to Nigeria in the name of the Lord and on behalf of American people. U.S. lawmaker Riley Moore, diplomat, visit Nigeria to investigate Christian persecution concerns." Okay? He's just giving a commentary there. And Musby says, "We appreciate your understanding of Nigerian security challenges, Mr. Riley Moore. The United States can support with vital military resources, equipment, and intelligence to help defeat these terrorists and stop the attacks." Lord have mercy. These are all the agencies of Nigeria speaking now. They came one after the other. This one is known as the Arewa source. It says, "Good news. The US is finally saying that we have no Christian genocide issues. Yeah, but we are security challenge affecting all Nigerians." Arewa source, it means source from the north, source from the caliphate. Arewa. Do your research on the word Arewa, Mr. Riley Moore, and you will know where they're coming from. You will know where they're coming from. You will know where they're coming from. Next one said, "Heartening to see the real progress and genuine cooperation between Nigeria and the US on security. Grateful to NSA, blah, blah, blah." That's the same people. They're coming. They've taken over your response page. They've taken over your tweets. They've taken over your tweet. One after the other. It is a bit strange that they came and dropped comments one after the other, because it means the same office wrote those responses in real time. This one says, I wish he visited and has promised to help us. I wish Netanyahu was hoped to come to Nigeria, and now, well, okay, let's leave that one. Speaking about something else. And again, they've taken over your tweet. The Nigerian bots, BOT, they've taken over your tweet. This one, Mr. Boss Mustafa said, it's refreshing to see Riley Moore beginning to open his eyes to the complexities of the situation of Nigeria, moving beyond the initial focus on an alleged Christian genocide. They've taken over your tweets, with all due respect. The Nigerian government and their cronies have taken over your X page, putting the response according to the prescription of Nigeria. Finally, Elroy says, it is sad that you finally allowed yourself to be deceived. What happened to visiting the crime scene and hearing directly from the horse's mouth? This is quite disheartening. This is quite disheartening. My people, I'll leave it on this one. I will leave it on this one that says, this one comes from Joe. Joe says, both Ribadu and Tinubu are the sponsors of the Fulani jihadists. They are playing on you and President real Donald Trump. They use their proxy to kidnap and also release those children to deceive you that they are walking or they are waking up now. This is today's massacre in Anambra State. And what you are seeing here is the attack in Anambra. The moment Nnamdi Kanu was jailed, life imprisonment. The moment Simon Ekpa was given 6 years in jail in Finland. The borders of Biafra is now weakened and open. And suddenly, the Fulani jihadists are now moving downwards into Biafra land. It happened to today. It says, attack St. Andrew's Catholic Anglican Church in Anambra, kill priest and wife, worshippers get building and cars ablaze. So they killed the priest, the wife, and worshippers, and they set the building and cars ablaze. They are now in Biafra land. To America, the Nigerian Islamic Fulani terrorists are now in Biafra land. We have been compromised in Biafra land. They are now amongst us. And unfortunately, Nigerian media will not discuss this because they hate we the Biafrans with a passion. They hate the Christians from the southeast. And when we are the ones going through the genocide, nobody speaks for us. Nobody speaks for us, with all due respect. So to America, God's own country, we are pleading with you. Please do not fall for this. It is sad, it is heartbreaking that America will allow herself to be used, cajoled, bamboozled, deceived by Nigerian government. But I'm praying, I'm being hopeful. I am praying and I am being hopeful that America will see that Nigeria is just lying. The government of Nigeria cannot be trusted. They have 16 years to deal with this problem and they did nothing about it. I repeat, they had 16 bloody years to deal with this problem and they did nothing about it. Let us sink in. Let that sink into the mind of all the US delegates that went to visit Nigeria. They had 16 years to deal with this problem, but they did nothing about it. Instead, they came with the Islamization of Nigeria through a process that, after I carried out my own analysis, my own research, I tagged it the Islamification of Nigeria. It's very, very sad. To the Biafrans, to the Christians in Nigeria, those in the Middle Belt, I say it is time for us to go back to pray. We must go back to prayer. Pray to God. The same God that touched the heart of Trump to intercede for us. Let us go back to prayer and beg God to touch the hearts of the delegates that came from America to Nigeria. That God will reveal to them the truth, nothing but the truth of what is happening in Nigeria. Because we know Nigeria. We know how they roll. We know how the government roll. We know how the media roll. We know how they operate in Nigeria. We know. But unfortunately, America, God's own country, might be one of those in the books that were also deceived by Nigeria. But let us pray. I believe in God. Our God is a living God. The God we've been crying to for the past 16 years, who answered us through President Trump. Let us pray that same God will touch the heart of the American delegates and will reveal to them something that will make them change their mind and ask the American government to come and rescue the Christians in Nigeria. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless the whole Christians around the whole world. May God bless the Christians in Nigeria being persecuted. May God bless Biafra. And may God bless America. May God bless Donald Trump. And may God bless the delegates who came to Nigeria. We pray that the good God will reveal to them the truth, nothing but the truth. They've heard our own story. They've heard the story from the Nigerian government. Now we are calling upon God to reveal the truth, nothing but the truth, to America. I rest my case. Thank you, and God bless you.
Now let us hear from the mouth of the Fulani terrorist that the APC brought him into Nigeria. Let us hear from them.
Idan ba gwamnati ta daure wanda yake cikin daji ya ta'addanci ba, Allah ubangiji ya tsine ma, Allah dauki rayuwa ta a wurin.
Listen, he's in Hausa.
Allah ce saniya aka san shi da ita sai noma. Saniya ba ta yi bindiga yake 47.
AK-47.
Allah ce bai da magana da zai kera bindiga AK-47.
AK-47.
Gwamnati ke turowa har muka samu. Mu kuma wallahi dalilin da ya sa billahi lazi shekara na 7 ina makarantar allo. Amma lokacin da na dawo na tsinci kaina a cikin wannan abu, wallahi ina mamaki kullum ina tunanin rayuwata.
If I'm lying,
saboda mahaifana akalla a kasar dan banga da su.
What did this man say? I will translate for you. Let me read what this man said. I swear to the Almighty Allah, that is the government, that is APC government, so-called Buhari government, that is giving arms to us. Fulani don't know what gun is. We are only headsmen. Cows don't give birth to guns. I swear to Allah, we are on our own, and the government gave us AK-47. I am not afraid to say the truth. Do you know where they said that? In front of Sheikh Gumi, Abubakar Gumi. He went to the forest to go and meet the bandits, and the bandits told him it was the government that gave us the guns. We don't know what guns are until they give it to us. That's why I ask you, if they are coming all the way from Mali and from Niger, how did they cross the border with guns? If you claim that those terrorism are from Niger Republic, so you don't have customs and immigration in the north anymore, and you're from the south and you're shouting one Nigeria, do you see the depth of your foolishness? Can you see it? When I say it, it's not out of hatred. People say, oh, I don't like his style of agitation, because I tell you the truth.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a clear example. In 2022, Nigeria's Court of Appeal struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all charges. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. has requested nearly $8 billion for sub-Saharan Africa. But when Americans see political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the slaughter of Christians, they understandably ask as they meet their own struggles, why should our tax dollars support governments that refuse to protect their own people? Is our aid aiding a genocide? Nigeria is a nation of tremendous potential, but that potential is being choked out by violent persecution of its Christian population. No country can build a stable future where churches are burned, believers are killed, and communities live in fear.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.